you've already have the chance to experience how it is to work in an industry where quantity surveying doesn't exist at all.
Yeah.
White canvas, no traditional conventional processes, full freedom to reinvent the process because it's not regulated.
Yeah, that was a surprise coming to Denmark that they don't have quantity surveying at all. Like, what are the 2 or 3 practices in Copenhagen? Maybe we shouldn't say that because that might be an opportunity for some of our rivals to come over and take all of the projects. But quantity surveying is new here. What I'm used to in the UK and Ireland, there's quantity surveyors everywhere. The client's got a QS. The client will hire a consultant as a QS. Then all the way down the supply chain, the main contractor, we're all talking the same language with the main contractor's QS, who then passes the information down to their subcontractors' QS. There's QSs everywhere in the UK and Ireland. And coming to Denmark, it's completely fresh. So, and that is a big opportunity to do what we're saying. Look at the outcome of what it is that we're trying to achieve, and it's bring financial control to construction projects. And we don't have to follow, there's no expectation from clients or the design teams that we work with to follow a status quo. So it does mean that the process we follow here is dynamic and simplified.
No, but totally. I think I was being maybe a little harsh regarding why you do things the same way you've always done forever. Well, it's regulated and there is expectations for you to do it that way. So obviously it's not an easy job for quantity surveyors in these markets to actually say, I'm going to disrupt the entire process. I'm going to do things differently, because at the end of the day, it is expected that you operate and provide certain deliveries, right? That are maybe not achievable with rethinking and reshaping the process. It will be a different type of delivery, and some clients out there might not be so open-minded to give it a go and give it a try. But definitely, it's not all in their hands, and they have that huge challenge. Now, not having a regulated process or not having a regulated profession in the Nordic markets is also a challenge, meaning the people in the team are not aware of the role. This is totally alien to them. They don't understand what are these people doing here, what for, because it doesn't exist. So, of course, both teams of quantity surveyors in the UK, Irish market, in Danish markets, face different challenges. I'm not saying one is going to have it easier than the others, but definitely an opportunity to have freedom to reshape the processes, the way we approach a project. How do we manipulate data? How do we manipulate information? What do we produce in projects? Following totally different methods and standards and processes than it would be conventionally expected in other markets, because there's no expectation. Now we face other challenges. It's not easy in terms of communicating cost and trying to make the message to go through in other aspects. But in this regard, is definitely an opportunity for implementing digital and technology into a totally new process defined to optimize and create a better output for the clients, rather than trying to meet their outdated expectations, maybe because they haven't seen what the new mindsets, what the new shapes of that process and what totally reinvented, I would call it like that, reinvented delivery will look like, and how much more valuable it is than what they are used to receive and work with. And that is applicable to the processes for quantity surveyors, for estimating, how we collaborate with the design teams, how do we intervene in projects, how do we receive data, how do we ask for data, how do we set our requirements for data, how do we work with that data and produce that data. But also is applicable to all their aspects of our deliveries. For example, not only the bill of quantities or the final figures, but it would also be applicable to change management, to providing information proactively for informed decision making for the clients, providing more insightful reports that you don't need to spend hours reading and trying to understand, but actually also rethinking that part of the process. I'm not only referring to measuring and quantity takeoff as the process of quantity surveyors, but everything else we produce, right?
Yes, so not just
reporting?
the estimating, but during the execution and construction stages too. Like keeping a closer eye on the progress that's happening. Insights for cash flow, valuations, and payments. The risk of getting those calculations wrong using inaccurate data can be the consequence of that can be huge. So using data and reporting techniques, it sounds like that's the route we're going down now, and managing change. That's super important. And again, if we look at the status quo, that could be a paper-based cost report that's delivered to the client, or we sit down and read it together once a month. The paper's on the table. And there's a couple of problems. Well, there's plenty of problems. But one of them is as soon as that report's been issued, it's instantly out of date. A change could happen on site, or a new design could come out that day, and then your report's worthless, and you've got to wait another month to get that next update. So during that month, there's a lot of wrong decisions that could have been made when it comes to cost, and that's one of the risks that it can lead to by not improving or not changing that process. It's a bit like when I think about that on the monthly paper-based reporting. It's when I spoke to people about it before, it puts it into context when you think about bank statements. If you used to receive a bank statement once a month and you knew how much was in your account at that time, and then you'd make your decisions for the month. And now we have it all on mobile. So you know, as soon as you've made a payment, how much money you've got in your account. And it's almost like a live feed. We're not there yet. We've not got a live feed into construction changes that happen when we get new designs out. But maybe it's every 2 or 3 days now. Maybe it's every 3 or 4 days compared to once a month. It makes you closer. The people who are making the decisions are closer to the action, so they can make smarter decisions.
You prevent the fires from firing proactively. And it is all because that's already changing the mindset. It's already understanding that innovation applied to the traditional processes, it only gets us that far. But now, when you start changing this process, you start collecting this data, that opens a huge window for opportunity. Well, I'm talking data, but also, it could be disrupting the process in many different ways, not just as in making it digital so that you can collect data. There is many other ways to disrupt the process. You could even come by questioning, is the quantity surveyor needed at all? Or, how I don't know, being drastic. But when you start working with this data, then you can actually start applying other type of technologies, modern ways of reporting. It could have been unthinkable a few years ago to know what is your life cost what is the life cost of your building ish, and have
and
that,
how much do you owe?
And have that live, right? And be able to go there and update as per the latest report without waiting to receive that in your email for your next meeting, and start targeting or have the most up-to-date information for when you go to your executive meetings, and even be able to have those charts and visuals, right, ready to go for your own reports without needing to generate and double processing that data. Why to have everybody creating their own visuals on the same data when you can just have that readily available as part of the project setting itself? So I think the window for opportunities is huge. But again, this comes by questioning and challenging,